is the Associate Director, Alex Pearson, who's been thrown that hospital pass by his colleague just a few moments ago. Great to see you. Thanks so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you, Tom. Good to be back. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you on board. As you just heard there from Morgan as he was leaving the studio, he said, yeah, you can leave that one for Alex as well. He's referencing that Moody's report that came out. We spoke to the ratings agency. They came in to explain themselves out there because we know it's the sort of sentiment that brokers don't want to be hearing. Just a quick reminder that UAE property prices set to dip from 26 as 150,000 new homes hit the market, says Moody's. I'm not going to play the clip again because you heard it in there, Alex. But I mean, your reaction to that, what does that tell us about the market?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, the reports obviously worked because many buyers in the marketplace are referencing similar reports from either, articles they've read, media outlets, which obviously the headline is an oversupply. But then if you delve a little bit deeper, for example, I predominantly work with end users in the villa communities. If you're looking at the apartments versus villas in terms of what's to come, it's around 80% to 20% in favour of apartments coming to the market. So will there potentially be an oversupply of apartments? Maybe. Therefore, if you're looking to invest or own an apartment, it may be worthwhile being more selective in terms of location. Whereas if you're looking at that 20% of the villas and townhouses which are due to come to the market, the numbers don't quite match up in terms of if you've got, let's say, hypothetically, 250,000 residents relocating to Dubai annually, but hypothetically speaking, once again, 20 or 30,000 apartments and villas and townhouses coming to the market, that could really impact things in terms of looking like an undersupply as opposed to seeing an oversupply.
So the market dynamics are telling us a different story from the sort of predictions, if it were. To that end, let's look at segments in particular. And you talked there about the availability. I'm interested by that whole idea of mass market apartment supply. I mean, are we talking like entire towers? Are we talking like entire developments, etc.? Is that the concern out there at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, once again, what we can see with a lot of these developers out there is that there is a huge amount of apartments coming to the market, and not only within the more premium hotspots like the Marina or downtown, we're seeing a lot of developers be pushed further and further out. Now, what's obviously attracting buyers is a much lower price per square foot and really attractive payment plans, which for someone who's looking just to get into the market can be a potential option for them.
Look, talking of the undersupply, I mean, big focus for us on apartments out there, but prime villa. We know that prime villas are much in demand as per the balancing act at the moment. But where are we at? Give us a sort of idea of just how undersupplied the market is.
Yeah, well, just to give you an example, so I have these conversations with buyers on almost a daily basis where it's typically a case of we're looking at potentially holding off to see where the market goes in the next 6 or 12 months. My response to that is if you are an end user and you see a home in a location that you like the look of, my view is there's more risk in waiting than what there is pulling the trigger off the bat. Reason being, let's say, hypothetically speaking, if you are to decide to wait that 12 months, historically what we've seen is around 20-25% growth per annum in these markets. Whereas if you do get in the market now, even if there is a slight correction in the market, it's only relevant when the time comes to sell. And most of these end users and families are looking at being in the home for at least 3 to 5 years before they then put it back on the market to either upsize, relocate, whatever it may be.
What about people coming through the door at Outpace Real Estate and saying, all right, I want a waterfront villa? I mean, forget it these days, surely, in terms of the demand out there.
100%. Unless you've got a ridiculous budget, 20, 30, 40 million dirhams, it's going to be very, very tough to get a waterfront villa.
Branded residents, again, and whether those sort of key words in the market at the moment, they readily available?
Yeah, they are in some areas. For example, in Arabian Ranches 3, you've got branded residents being Al Isar branded residents, which are soon to hand over to the market. And these are at what many buyers in Dubai would reference as being a relatively affordable price point, which is, it's funny to say that because they're still, 8, 9, 10 million plus. But these are what is now viewed to be a reasonable and realistic price point in the market.
What's your message to buyers who delay? I mean, you mentioned there the strong demand. You've put forward the arguments of rental growth and price appreciation. Market still delivering at the moment for investment. For those who delay and just wait and see, What's your message to them?
Yeah, it's quite a clear message. I mean, at the end of the day, we're not here to push buyers and making what they may view to be the wrong decision. But I just try and paint the picture of where is the Dubai market headed, what's happening in the market. In my opinion, it's the strongest real estate market globally, and the future looks incredibly bright. So, as I said, there's a bigger risk in waiting than what there is buying now, especially if you find the right home in the right location, which suits yourself and your family's needs. If you are to wait, in 12 months' time, you may be paying 20-25% more for the exact same product.
You mentioned that, the likes of Moody's, the likes of Fitch previously as well, similar sort of sentiments from both of them. Potential buyers coming into your office over the summer, waving that report in your face, saying, you didn't tell us about this, Alex. I mean, are there any other reasons out there? What are the other sort of, not excuses, but reasons that is sort of creating caution?
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously, when we were through the summertime, there was a lot of speculation because of what was happening globally with wars, and then the previous year was interest rate hikes. So there's always some sort of sentiment in the market. However, that being said, it can generally, it doesn't generally lead to anything catastrophic. And I think in Dubai, what we may find, if there is to be a potential correction in the years to come, it'll be more like what we see with a mature market where it is 8 to 10%, as opposed to what we've seen previously with corrections in Dubai where it's 20, 30, 40%.
Good to see you, Alex. Really appreciate it. Busy old day for you? Calendar full?
Very busy. We're absolutely flat stick at the moment.
We'll take that, that's for sure. Really appreciate your time. That's Alex Pearson, Associate Director at Espace Real Estate, joining us live in the studio. And a big thanks to all the team at Espace for, of course, reading the map, reading the lines with regards to all things property here in the region. It's the Business Breakfast.